Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
What's up, guys? It's Amir Reiter and Jeremy Schiff, founder of Salesbot.io, on another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast, the software demo review series. Jeremy, what's up, my man? How are you doing today?
Doing great. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you dealing with my technical issues. I had a little bit of NVIDIA update time and had to keep Jeremy waiting. But I'm excited to talk about your product and specifically Salesbot.io and just AI-powered sales engagement and lead generation tools for sales and marketing teams. Want to learn more about you guys? Maybe you can give me a high level of how you founded the company, and then we'll get into our first question.
Sure. Yeah. So my sort of founder journey is sort of a fun one. So started out my career getting a PhD in robotics and AI from Berkeley. Just realized sort of that there was too much data in the world and we were going to need AI systems to sort of manage a lot of that. That's pretty obvious now, but it wasn't obvious probably 20-ish years ago when I got my PhD. Can't believe how long it's been. After that, I built I built a photo editor that powered companies like MySpace, PhotoBucket, eHarmony. We grew to 50 million people using it a month. Then my second company, we sold to OpenTable, where the company was doing personalized restaurant recommendations, and that search engine ultimately powers a lot of how OpenTable does search and recommendations today. And then while I was there, I was reflecting a lot on a lot of the search and recommendation things we had built about places, and was like, hey, what if we do this about people instead? And so we actually started out in the recruiting domain with RecruitBot. And we were starting to find a lot of our customers were using RecruitBot for sales as well. And so we launched Salesbot, and we've just been having a lot of excitement. It's sort of a surprisingly mature product for a company that is as new as ours, because effectively we've been building a very similar product in a different domain for a long time. And that's given us some really nice advantages when trying to help our sales customers.
So if I were to summarize this, you have an IQ between 130 and 160 with a 1600 SAT score, and you crushed AI and robotics, and you built an AI robotic company, and you focused on helping recruiters, which is sales, Jeremy. It's all sales, right? You got to sell someone for the job, but then you found that they didn't actually want to use it to sell employment. They wanted to sell products, right? Which all fucking makes sense to me. And guys, anybody who wants to know how I learn tools and how I get smart, it's because I make friends with guys like Jeremy, and I ask them difficult questions and they give me difficult answers, and then I share it with everybody. So it's actually an honor to piggyback off of your education in Berkeley and get some shortcuts from you. I really appreciate you being super helpful and shorting. And obviously I'm obsessed with B2B sales, and I'm obsessed with just revenue in general. So I love helping leaders find you, and really gets into my next question, right? Like, talk to me about the alternatives customers are using before you. So I know their names. Everybody listening knows their names. It's hard not to. There's some drama this week, even on LinkedIn, about some of these names. But talk to me about this, man. Tell me a little bit about the usual suspects.
Yeah, so Salesbot fundamentally is a tool for end-to-end sales engagement. So we're at the very top of the funnel. Our job is to help find the right people and engage with them at scale, right? So the sort of standard companies that everyone's probably very used to hearing: ZoomInfo, Apollo, Seamless. Those are sort of the three that we sort of run into the most. We have all sorts of like fun stats, like we have 3 times more data than Apollo, double the data of ZoomInfo. We're able to find on average 19 times more leads for a given role than something like for a given ICP than Apollo, which is a huge deal, right? Because you're ultimately engaging with people. You want to engage with people that are broadly in your ICP, so you're not going and messaging exactly the same competitors that everyone else is. And then similarly, we can generate email campaigns and even personalize those campaigns for you, all within the tool.
I'm gonna pause you for a second, Jeremy, because you're getting into it super fast. So before
diving in too fast.
No, man. I'm laughing because in my head at the same time I'm like, like, the PhD went from a PhD to a master SDR account executive, which is an awesome transformation. I fucking love it. But before you, they were using ZoomInfo Apollo, right? And then if I understand
using ZoomInfo and Apollo, yeah.
The challenges, if I understand you, they came with would be that those providers, they basically the quality wasn't super high, and they became a little bit more complicated, where you kind of have to kind of download some CSVs, clean them just to keep your domain safe, right? So you're finding that before you, clients were using those two leaders in the space, right? They're great, nothing to say about it, but no. You grow really big. Sometimes your hygiene and your ability to keep those data records clean changes, right? For all those listening, everybody knows that there's been a lot of changes when it comes to email from Google and Microsoft, where their threshold for spam and for bounce rates really went lower, right? So they created obviously an opportunity for a lot of sellers to be super successful. And then you created the opportunity to solve the problems that customers were facing. Anything else that's specific that customers were kind of telling you that they were facing with using some of the incumbent technologies, which are still great, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, they're great tools. We just have a bunch of advantages, right? So the main ones were, as you said, just data quality, right? Like the fact that you have to go through a 12-step enrichment process to go and sort of get your records to be the quality that you want them to be in order to start reaching out to people seems a little bit crazy to me. We're sort of aspiring that you don't have to do any of that, and that's all in one step. And then the second is value, in terms of ROI and value relative to a ZoomInfo. It's often a no-brainer to go with something like us instead, and that's something we've been seeing a lot in the market lately.
I want to add something to what you just said, because you dropped a little a 12-step enrichment process, right? Which was a slick way, in my opinion, of saying data inflation, right? So we live in a world where costs of everything are going up, cost of salaries, right? And that need to do the extra steps almost inflates your cost of a clean record to the point where you lose the mathematics behind working with bad data, right? And it's funny because obviously, you say one thing, I hear a different thing, right? But it's really the truth to any GTM leader out there that has been using this data. It's the more steps you have to do to enrich, the cost can quadruple if you add your manpower time, the cost for like a never bounce email list verification, all those guys you can find in the marketplace that clean your data. So this is the best part. You get to share your screen and you get to show us how you made it faster, cheaper, and more efficient for GTM and sales leaders to go to market.
Sounds great.
And guys, I caught him off guard too, by the way. I purposely said, you're not going to do a demo. And then last second, I said, you're going to do a demo.
All good. I still love demoing my product. So
you can handle the pressure.
So I've just sort of come up with the world's fastest way of sort of going and encoding this. So something that's a little bit different about the way that you express what you're looking for in our system is you can go and just type in a search manually across tons of different fields across our database of 680 million people, but oftentimes finding the right ICP is overwhelming. And so with Salesbot, you can literally just describe, here are the sorts of ICPs that I want, sales leaders at mid-market tech companies and other IT-related industries in California. And then you can describe what product you're selling. So everyone knows Salesforce, so I figured I would use it as an example to go and sort of generate additional content as well. So when I click Create Lead List, it's actually going to be doing two things at once. The first thing that it's going to be doing is interacting with the search engine, actually pretty similarly to how a human does it. And it's going to generate searches, look at the number of results, change the search, and sort of iterate on it until it's gotten a good number of results and it's happy with that ICP. The second thing that it's going to do is it's going to generate an email campaign for you. Everyone knows how sort of slow and time consuming it is to go and generate a campaign. So we can go and do that for you and automate the process of reaching out to those people at scale, and even sort of have the ability to personalize those messages as well. So it can take about a minute, but this is going to still save sort of many tens of minutes.
I just want to reiterate, right? There's two business challenges that a buyer would have, right? They would have, I don't have enough clean data or clean mobile numbers, and it's taking me too long to research the data, find the clean data, and I don't have the time to build the sequences. Both use cases are reasons why a buyer would solve their business challenge with SalesBot, and some do both, some do one or the other, right? Type of thing.
That's exactly right.
Cool. So it's like the vanilla and the chocolate of an ice cream cone.
Yes, it's choose your own adventure. However you want to solve it, we're happy to go and support them.
I'm a vanilla and chocolate kind of guy.
Nice.
So it works with them.
So you can see here that we have all of the different fields that we have, and the AI has automatically filled it in. So it's come up with some other variants of job titles to help find more results. It knows to look within 25 miles of California. It has suggested a bunch of related industries. I wouldn't have to know these off of the top of my head. It's automatically done it. I can filter by management level. I can filter by revenue. It's automatically filled in the company size, so on and so forth. I can search by company description. I can search by investment stage. I can search by skills. I can search by education. I can even search by demographics. Then once I've done that, I can start reviewing all of the different people that I'd like to look at. I can see what they've done, how much money they're making, where they are, what their roles are, so on and so forth. And then I can either in bulk go and select thousands of people and go and export them with just one click and go and sort of put that through whatever other process I want. Mm-hmm. Or I can go and select those people one at a time, and I can go and reach out to them, select my email campaign. I can either then go and send that email in bulk or personalize the messages one by one or edit the campaign and then go and send it out. So the value really here is that we're solving all of these problems all in one tool. You can see it's written an entire 10 email drip campaign. This would take a huge amount of time. And then what's really exciting is I can in one click go and personalize it. And so then the system will automatically go and incorporate the information we have about the specific person we're looking at into the role when you're going to go and send the messaging. And this is much more intelligent than what I call snippet-based messaging that we've all seen, where you get an email and it's like, hey, here's 3 reasons that you should go and join company X, Y, or so that you should buy product X, Y, or Z, right? Like it feels very ham-handed and doesn't feel very like someone's actually spent the time researching. Ours will be much more nuanced based on what's important to the individual. So maybe they talk a lot about KPIs in their profile. So our system will focus more on KPIs, for example.
Makes sense. I think one thing that stands out to me, it's more built of a modern interface where it's more like prompting a system than it would be the old style, which is what more people are getting used to. But you were kind of built in that zone, right? So kind of more built in the modern AI zone versus maybe some others that are trying to catch up to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're definitely built AI first, with the important distinction, though, that you always have control at every step. And I feel like this is where a lot of companies have gone awry. Either they don't embrace AI, or they so over embrace AI that you can't go and tweak your search and add a job title or an industry or refine the search in any way. You're sort of fighting with the generative AI, and it's hallucinating and making all sorts of mistakes. Our systems are robust and don't do that, and give the user the control to tweak it the 10%. So if you don't like the language, you tweak it 10%, right? But that's still we found is sort of the magic balance between the AI saving you a ton of time while having the control to make sure that you're saying things or targeting exactly who you want to target.
Makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense to me. And guys, everybody listening, I'm going to be in May, from May 3rd to May 23rd in San Francisco, and I'm going to do a competition with SalesBot's data to book as many meetings as I can. So I'm going to also record that. I'm excited about that as well. Talk to me about, and this I think is a question where you shine, in the sense that, for me, I think we kind of lean towards it being simple, but from a task deliverable and people, like what does it really take for a company to buy SalesBot and get using it right away? Is this, I got to hire new staff? Is this, I got to hire nobody? Is this 3 months? Is this 5 days? What does that look like? What does a typical onboarding look like for a happy, satisfied, successful client of yours?
Sure. So about half of our customers just come in, or I guess a little more than half, come in just organically from the website, sign up, work it out themselves, and they're sort of off to the races. It is easy enough for people to sort of self-sign on. If larger companies are obviously going to go through a more conventional sales cycle where they're going to see demos and potentially even getting a training call here or there. The nice thing about Salesbot is you can go in 10 minutes, go and see the value really quickly, right? You just type in your ICP, you give us a link to whatever web page on your website's most important to you, you hit go, and the system will generate the list, and you can export the emails and phone numbers or look at them yourselves and see if it's better than the other companies that you're using today. It actually makes it really sort of quick and easy. So typically it's fastest and people in like literally 15 minutes if your workflow is exporting from Apollo or Zoom Info into some other tool for reach out like an Instantly or a Salesloft or an Outreach.io. That's literally 10 minutes and you're good to go. Now, if you want to go and connect Salesbot and go and do outreach, oftentimes there's a little more that hopefully you already understand about email warming and all of that sort of stuff that has to get set up in order for it to go. But still, configuration times in Salesbot is very quick to make that go.
So you can get using data in minutes, and your only limitation with sending emails would be a limitation based on are your emails ready to send or ready not, right? If
that's
ready,
right. Do you have warm accounts? Are you ready to go? That stuff. Yep.
That makes sense to me. Talk to me about KPIs. KPIs are your ideal customers usually rating your software. Is it email accuracy, mobile phone accuracy, speed? How are they measuring you? And I know that has a lot of variables. So for this demo, it's really more like the general client. We got to meet more to talk about the lead gen agency versus the SaaS versus the real estate client.
Sure. Yeah. So in general, there are a couple of like general big buckets. So the first one is what's the quality and size of the database, right? So is your data fresh? Is the data fresh? Is it, do we have all the people that you're looking for in the TAM, and are we able to sort of provide all of those to you quickly and easily? The second is, as you just said, Amir, quality contact data. So we constantly hear that our email and phone data is much, much better. We're able to find 50% more emails than Apollo, and we're winning a lot of deals from Zoom Info recently because we're hearing our phone data is much better than theirs is. And so that is just sort of like it's
That's
really
a lot.
Different. It's a lot on its own.
They're measuring you on speed and accuracy.
That's it. Yep. And if they can get to it faster, and you mentioned something before that's important to highlight. When people think about cost, they usually just think about the cost per record. They don't think about the fact that, I'm using some other tool that's suggesting 5 phone numbers, one of which is the prospect's mother, and like how slow and time consuming that can be, and what a waste of your SDR's time or your BDR's time. When you're factoring all of that in, it starts to become a no-brainer when the data quality is a lot better. And again, you don't have to go through the elaborate enrichment process that a lot of other tools require in order for you to get it, which makes it a lot less brittle and makes it a lot more self-serve for your sales team to just get started and get moving.
I like it. I got one last question for you.
Shoot.
Do you got any special offers or deals for the CloudTask community if they wanted to give you guys a try? Putting you on the spot, Jeremy.
Yeah. So
you got a T-shirt? We'll take a T-shirt.
We're happy to do a T-shirt. No, so we will. We use. You're putting me on the spot here, but normally
I put you on the spot on purpose. The best deals come from on the spot.
I love it. So basically, what we'll do is if you go in through Amir's website or through Amir, we're happy to, or just sort of let us know that you learned about it from the podcast. We'll go through the CloudTask sort of portal. We will on your trial give you double the number of emails and phone numbers, and we will verify your. We're happy to provide more white glove service than you would typically get for a trial. Just because.
In other words, you get a PhD doctor as your customer success rep. Now, Jeremy, you're awesome. I'm excited about this relationship. I'm really looking forward to test driving your technology and putting you through some challenges and just helping the right people find you. I think everybody in the industry of data, everyone's a colleague, right? You're all trying to help different problems, different industries, different niches. I also liked how you went to the sales copy. You said join, so you still got the recruiting brain on, man. That's good. I like that. Everybody, I'm shaking my desk because my camera is now attached to my desk. So sorry for the shaking, but everybody, thank you for tuning in to this this episode of the Transform Podcast. I'm going to put a link with the listing, with the special offer, with the coupon code below. But if anybody wants to contact you directly, Jeremy, learn from you. He's also an Elasticsearch expert, by the way, but do not ask him questions because he's helping us right now. Where can they find you and pick your brain?
Just jschiff@salesbot.io, or if I'm a little backlogged, as I tend to be from time to time, sales at salesbot.io. We'll get back to you right away and get you on a trial.
Jeremy, I appreciate you, and shout out to Big Steve Burden out of Vancouver.
Yeah, for sure.
Vancouver is the #1 city for Steve Burden. He gave up on the UK and he made the introduction to Jeremy. So, Mr. Vancouver, Steve Burden, thank you for the intro. Everybody,
he's been phenomenal for us. He's such a great partner. As have you, Amir. I really appreciate it.
I just got started, man. Wait till you meet me in San Francisco.
I'm excited.
All right, man. Talk soon. See ya.
Bye.